don't want to be the asshole here, but I might end up being the asshole here because we have some videos of Trump supporters who are expressing regret, okay? But the details get a little bit iffy, if you know what I'm saying. So first, let's start with this one. Owner of Miami's most famous Haitian restaurant regrets his vote for Trump after he ends Haitian temporary protected status, crushing his business. So here we go. This is a CBS Evening News clip, and it says a lot.
I voted for Donald Trump.
The Chef Creole restaurant in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood is typically bustling with customers. Not today.
People are scared.
Owner Wilkinson Sajor says it's not just the clientele. After 34 years in business, he's lost his entire management team at 7 locations and will likely have to shut down 2 stores due to the end of temporary protected status.
The end of TPS means for me that my future in the hospitality business is almost going to be non-existent.
On Sunday, federal officers made an immigration arrest outside one of his restaurants.
What would you say to the president that you voted for?
He sold to me that he is a businessman and that he will be making business decisions.
Of all the things Trump said, of all the things he did, of his long record of being a con man and everything, you thought, oh, he's a businessman, so he's going to run the country really well like a business? Like, that's what you took out of his 2016 campaign and his 2020 campaign and his 2024 campaign? That was your takeaway? Oh, business. You know, he's a business guy. He does business. What? I mean, how am I even supposed to react to that? That is so disconnected from anything real, it's laughable.
He is a businessman and that he will be making business decisions.
Do you regret your vote?
Yes, I do.
If your restaurant business was reliant on Haitians who were here under a temporary protected status, did you really fucking think Donald Trump was gonna protect the Haitians who are here under temporary protected status? That's like one of the groups of people that I would expect day one he's gonna go in there and fucking kick them out of the country. Day one he's gonna rescind their protected status. That's what I would think. A guy who's so deeply anti-immigration. And not only are you talking about immigrants, you're talking about black immigrants. You think Donald Trump is really going to be welcoming of black immigrants? He had that famous quote about, like, why don't people ever come here from the non-shithole countries? They only come here from the shithole countries. He means like Haiti. He means Haiti. He means Africa. He's a racist. He's a bigot, of course. So here you have a black business owner, like, oh, I know I voted for the leopards eating people's faces party, but I didn't know they would eat my face. Like, of course he was going to eat your face. You were the first thing on the menu. You were the appetizer in this bitch. What are you talking about? Okay,
Yeah.
Now I know I'm being the asshole because this is like, okay, so he flipped. He's not going to vote for Republicans anymore. But it's like, I don't know, when you get warned over and over and over and over and over that shit like this is going to happen and then it happens, at a certain point we got to be like, you should have fucking listened at some point, right? Like, you should have fucking listened. Okay, but I got more. This one's a doozy. 75-year-old man named John Gannon is a lifelong Republican. He voted for Trump. But just wait until you hear what life situation he had and what Trump did and how he feels now. This is amazing.
I voted for Trump. I am saying that they are picking up law-abiding citizens. They're destroying families, jobs.
John Gannon is a 75-year-old businessman and lifelong Republican who supported President Trump in 2024.
I wouldn't do that again, not after this fiasco.
His fiancée, 45-year-old Venezuelan immigrant Yasmin Suarez Reyes, was detained by ICE at George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston in late July.
8 ICE agents swarmed Jasmine and detained her, didn't tell us why, and rustled her off into a car.
When you saw that unfold, what went through your mind?
Well, I was just in total disbelief.
According to her immigration lawyer, Suarez Reyes came to the U.S. legally in 2023 and later applied for asylum, a case that is still ongoing, but her underlying permission to be in the U.S. has lapsed. Some people may say this is what mass deportations look like.
They're not going after the hard guys. That's too difficult. It's easier to pick them up at the airport. You know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Suarez Reyes was arrested as part of a recent crackdown by ICE at airports across the country.
ICE is here, help us!
Back in Texas, Gannon says he deeply misses his fiancée, who remains in ICE custody, facing deportation.
Jasmine's good as gold. Love Jasmine. That's it.
We contacted the Department of Homeland Security about this case, but have yet to hear back. Immigrants like Suarez Reyes were typically not having targeted for deportation and arrest under prior administrations, but the Trump administration has taken the position that anyone whose immigration status has lapsed is fair game for enforcement.
Bro, what did you expect to happen? And I mean that sincerely. From the bottom of my heart, I mean that. First of all, you're a 75-year-old man, and she's 45 years old. Okay? So what the fuck are you doing there, rocking the cradle? Oh, dinky stinky. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two is, what did you expect? You really thought your immigrant wife who got here in 2023 and had to, file for refugee status, for asylum? Like, you really thought, oh, nah, he's not talking about my wife when he talks about all this anti-immigrant shit. You know what the thing is about this that drives me crazy? Is I have no doubt that if ICE didn't go after his wife in particular, he would have nothing bad to say about Trump at all. In other words, 4,200 people missing because of ICE from Alligator Alcatraz, mass kidnappings and abductions and human traffickings, the destruction of due process and the Constitution in this country, ICE doing slavery at their detention facilities, over 50 people dying in ICE custody, innocent people getting shot in the face while protesting ICE, literal criminals joining ICE, Home Depots getting raided, Lowe's getting raided, they're zip tying naked U.S. kids and putting them in the back of U-Haul vans after dragging them out of their beds. All of that, he would have looked at it and said, all right, but if they didn't come for his wife, I don't think you would have cared, bro. I don't think you would have cared. I think you would have been like, hey, it ain't me, it ain't my wife, it ain't anybody I know. So that's why it's sort of tough to listen to this and have any sort of sympathy. Is like, it's the classic thing, right? Republican voters don't give a shit until it happens to them specifically, until it happens to them directly. How many Republican politicians were told completely and utterly against gay marriage to their core, but then eventually when you find out your daughter's gay, then you sort of soften on the issue a little bit. Well, why the fuck didn't you care when it was your neighbor's kid? When it's your kid, suddenly you care. When it was your neighbor's kid, you were like, I don't care. They shouldn't have the same rights as straight couples. Why? Why? Why does it have to happen to you specifically? Is it really that difficult to go, let me put myself in this person's shoes? Is it really that difficult? And again, you were told, you were warned, all of you were told, all of you were warned. And here we are. 75-year-old white dude dating a 45-year-old Venezuelan. ICE kidnaps her, and he's going, I wouldn't vote for Trump again because of what he did here. Okay, but what if he didn't do that? Would you vote for him again then? How about that? Right? If Trump did all the other fascism and terrorism and imperialism, but he didn't specifically rescind the temporary protected status for Haitian immigrants, would that other guy have cared? He wouldn't have fucking cared. He wouldn't have cared. But, I mean, look, we're actually getting to the point now where Trump has so directly and specifically pissed off, like, every little group in this country that Republicans are about to get their cheeks clapped over the top. Because that's where we are now. Like, is there anybody he hasn't pissed off? I mean, he's only got 36% of the population is still with him. The low poll was 30. And that's like the cult members, like the hardcore cult members. You know what I'm saying? But, like, he actually has pissed off all these different little segments of the population. But don't say we didn't tell you so. Like, again, this is I voted for the leopards eating people's faces party, but I didn't think the leopards would eat my face. Well, fucking, of course they were going to eat your face. And like I said, you were warned 17,000 times over, and now finally the chickens are coming home to roost. And you get a segment on the news explaining how you changed your mind. Well, you should have fucking changed your mind years and years and years and years ago. People forget, I wasn't always like this, right? Like, yeah, I was the one in Trump's first term, early on in his first term, I was the one who was like, hey, look, man, Trump ran on some racist-ass shit, but he also said he wanted to keep the jobs here. He also said he was against the wars. Like, he also said he didn't want to outsource the job. Like, all these things. So maybe some of the people voted for him for not the worst reasons, so, like, let's be reasonable. But where we are now in 2026, you can't say that anymore. Anybody who's still with Trump or was with Trump even 6 months ago, it's like, I'm sorry, like, too little, too late is a massive understatement. But anyway, there you have it. It's not looking good for him, but, maybe don't vote for the leopards eating people's faces party anymore.